I gave The Rock every title in the WWE for a year to see how well he would do, so let's get into it. The first show is WrestleMania Backlash. The Rock, as the undisputed Universal Champion, defends it against his cousin, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Rather than Rock putting over Roman Reigns and making him the biggest star in the industry, The Rock just decides to beat his ass and retain his championship. Why? Who booked this? I don't know. We gotta have the rematch at WrestleMania Backlash 2. So good job, Dwayne. You buried Roman. After a successful defense against the Tribal Chief, The Rock moves on to the next month of Hell in a Cell, where he is forced to defend the World Heavyweight Championship against none other than the Rated R superstar Edge. The two guys go to the top, and unfortunately that means somebody's got to go straight to hell. And Edge goes straight to oblivion, rock bottom through the top of the cell, and a people's elbow. Just butter up and finish off Edge. The Rock retains his World Heavyweight Championship after sending Edge straight to hell. After Hell in a Cell, we head to NXT, where we have NXT in your house. The Rock is booked in 2 matches. The first one is for the North American title as he defends against Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes gets close, but it's no cigar, as The Rock is able to somehow retain against Cameron Grimes. But The Rock isn't done yet. He's got one more match. Braun Breaker challenges The Rock, who's not even the fucking Rock. That's not The Rock from 1999. That's like just The Rock if you drew like hair follicles onto his head. And you get that. Whatever. It's supposed to be The Rock from 1999, but he's more like from 2029. But unfortunately for Braun Breaker, this old geezer still ends up defeating him and retaining his NXT title. Kind of counterproductive to NXT, but hey, you know what? He's The Rock, and he brings in those numbers and money, baby. The next WWE pay-per-view is Money in the Bank. Cody Rhodes is looking to finish the story, as tonight he's going to keep it simple and clean as he takes on The Rock for the undisputed Universal Championship. Despite Cody's best efforts to finish his story, in the end, he fails to finish it once again due to The Rock defeating him and retaining his undisputed Universal Championship. I swear to God, this is like the worst timeline. The Rock beats Roman Reigns, he sends Edge to hell, and now he stops Cody from finishing the story. Like, this is the absolute worst timeline for wrestling fans. But now we get to the main event, so surely The Rock must be out of the main event of this match, right? No! He somehow wiggles his way in to the Money in the Bank ladder match looking to win, so we can have a situation where The Rock fights The Rock. Well, things get exciting because it looks like Jinder Mahal is going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. The Jinder Maniacs are going crazy, but then Big E stops that from happening. And in the end, of all people, Ridge Holland wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. The Ridge-a-Maniacs are going wild over the Jinder Mahalalics. What am I doing with my life? Well, after The Rock's dominance throughout this entire video so far, we go to the NXT Great American Bash, where fake 99 Rock with this shitty shirt and 1998 Rock defend against what? The 2-man power trip, Triple H and Rikishi in a Falls Count Anywhere tornado tag team match, because let's be honest, tag matches in this game are boring as shit. And boy howdy, to my surprise, Triple H hits a pedigree on The Rock from 98, and that is enough to keep him down. Rikishi is dealing with the fake Rock on the outside, and Triple H and Rikishi defeat Dwayne and Dwayne. I can't believe it. At SummerSlam, we have another tag team match for the tag titles, as The Rock and The Rock, very sexy, very sexy by The Rock and Rock, take on the team of John Cena and John Cena. We're just getting some wacky territory here. In an elimination tornado table tag match. Say that 5 times fast. And to the shock of everyone, the John Cenas actually defeat the Dwaynes. And the Rocks lose their undisputed tag titles. So, I don't know what's going on with The Rock, but it seems like his kryptonite is tag team matches. So what the hell's going to happen with the tag titles? I guess the John Cenas are going to just dominate the division, right? After SummerSlam, we find out that Ridge Holland will be using his Money in the Bank briefcase to cash in for a championship match at Clash at the Castle against The Rock. Our interviewer goes to the backstage area and tries to find The Rock. He finds Rock and asks him, "What do you think about Ridge Holland cashing his Money in the Bank briefcase for a title shot?" And The Rock basically just goes like this. Yep, that sums it up. But now at Clash of the Castle, Ridge Holland is getting his big break. He's cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase for a World Championship match against The Rock. The Ridgeomaniacs are wildly behind Ridge Holland, but can it work? No. Despite Ridge trying, he still fell to The Rock in the end. He should have just tried to injure him, because, you know, Ridge is really good at injuring people. After the match, as The Rock is posing, we go to the back, we cut to the backstage area, and we see something horrifying happen. The Rock gets thrown into a spotlight 30 feet in the air and dies. No joke, he actually dies. Like, he is actually dead. And then we cut to the mysterious man who's wearing a mask and an outfit. He leaves and he shows on the back of his jacket that he's a part of the Bloodline. Did Roman Reigns kill The Rock? Well, I guess we'll find out more on Monday Night Raw. Fear not, WWE Universe, because Detective Rock is on the case to figure out who killed Dwayne Johnson. The Rock has decided to temporarily leave the WWE of his championship duties to try to solve this mystery. Unfortunately, due to The Rock's death, the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship were stripped from him. And they were given to Black Adam, starring Dwayne Johnson, and the Scorpion King, who was given the Intercontinental Championship. So, don't worry guys, The Rock might have died, but he's got backups. At Extreme Rules, Black Adam is defending the United States Championship against Solo Sikoa after Detective Dwayne accused Roman Reigns of killing The Rock. Roman Reigns, of course, has denied this accusation and says that he's being framed by someone. We don't know who, but he believes he's being framed. So Solo Sikoa is going to fight in Roman Reigns' honor at Extreme Rules for the US title. Unfortunately for Solo, he fails in his quest and gets beat by Black Adam after hitting the Black Bottom. After he hit the Atom Bomb onto Solo. After the match, the mysterious masked man comes out and hits a spear onto Black Adam and flees through the crowd. It's looking real sus that the guy who speared Black Adam used the spear. Looking pretty sus for Roman Reigns, if I be so myself. Before we get to the Survivor Series, we got NXT Halloween Havoc, where Fake Rock and Rock 98 are looking to get back their tag titles they lost against Triple H and Big Quiche. Unfortunately for the Rocks, they lost. Kind of convincingly, to be honest. One of the Rocks got hit with the Rikishi driver, and then the other one got hit with the pedigree, and both guys just escaped over the cage basically at the same exact time. So Triple H and Big Quiche retain their titles and send the Rocks packing. So no more title shots for you, bitch. Of course, all the accusations and bickering amongst the roster leads to a War Games match Survivor Series between the Bloodline of Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Paul Heyman taking on the entire Rock clan. You got the Scorpion King, Black Adam, and the two Rocks from NXT are going to duke it out in a War Games match. And after a hellacious War Games match with the Bloodline being on the line, Fake Rock 99 makes Solo Sikoa tap out to the sharpshooter, and the Rock's Bloodline defeats the Bloodline at the Survivor Series, hopefully ending this once and for all, because it's actually found out that Roman Reigns did not kill The Rock. Detective Rock says that he will reveal who killed Rock day one. So at day one, we're going to finally find out who killed The Rock. Before we get to the big reveal at day one, we have one match. The Scorpion King defends the Intercontinental Championship against Vince McMahon. And this Vince McMahon, he ain't your 80-year-old grandpa that screams at you in gorilla position. This dude will clap your cheeks. He goes hog wild. And this hog wildness actually leads to the Scorpion King falling to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon wins the Intercontinental Championship away from the Scorpion King as like a fuck you to Triple H for taking his spot. So, good job, Vince. But now it's time for the big reveal. Detective Dwayne Johnson comes out. He comes out, makes his entrance, and says, "Listen, I know who killed The Rock." And right as he's about to answer who did it, The Masked Man comes out of the crowd and spears Dwayne Johnson down. The Masked Man takes his mask off and jacket, and it reveals to be Edge. The guy that he killed at Hell in a Cell. We thought we'd never see him again, but in the end, he is revealed to be the Masked Man that attacked and killed The Rock, and now is going to want to have a title shot at the Royal Rumble against The Rock. Edge versus The Rock at the Royal Rumble for the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Before we get to the Royal Rumble, we go back to NXT for New Year's Evil. Fake Dwayne 99 takes on Ilya Dragunov. We get this amazing, beautiful close-up of The Rock's face, and oh my god, you just see how not 1999 Rock it really is. But to the shock of everyone, or at least for me, Ilya Dragunov actually wins the NXT Championship from The Rock, from Fake Dwayne. And Ilya Dragunov wins the NXT Championship, upsetting Fake Dwayne 99, and is now going in with momentum to stand and deliver, probably. But now we're at the Royal Rumble. We got our first big match. Edge, the man who killed The Rock, coming out with his scary Brood-like entrance, taking on The Rock for the World Heavyweight Championship. And The Rock wins. The Rock hits the DDT on the Edge, breaking his neck in two, and The Rock retains and probably puts Edge on the shelf permanently for committing violent acts of murder. But it's time for the Royal Rumble match. The Scorpion King comes out at number 2 and makes it all the way to the end. The final two, it's the Scorpion King versus Omni-Man. And unfortunately for the Scorpion King, Omni-Man prevails and eliminates Scorpion King despite an unbelievable performance from the Scorpion King. What a performance. But it wasn't enough to defeat Omni-Man, and Omni-Man is going to WrestleMania for a World Championship match. While we do know one of the main events of WrestleMania, Omni-Man taking on The Rock for the Undisputed Universal Championship, we have to figure out what else will happen at WrestleMania. So we go to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, where The Rock defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul, Triple H, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and CM Punk. The Rock finally loses a World Championship in this run. After eating an RKO from Randy Orton actually pins Dwayne Johnson, and that is the end. He finally lost the World Championship after all this time. It's actually impressive. But also, not only does Randy Orton eliminate The Rock from the Chamber, he also wins the World Heavyweight Championship after defeating CM Punk. Randy Orton does the unthinkable and unseats The Rock from his pedestal of dominance. And Randy Orton is going to WrestleMania. Good for him. Before we get to the showcase of the Immortals, we go to NXT Stand and Deliver. The first match is for the NXT Championship. Rather than having a 1v1, it's a fatal 4-way. Ilya Dragunov has to defend against Braun Breaker, Apollo Crews, and The Rock. The Rock actually wins back the NXT Championship after pinning Apollo Crews. So Ilya didn't even get pinned and lost his championship. That's always the saddest shit, when you don't even get pinned and you lose. But the main event is not that. I don't know why. The main event is for the North American title. The Rock will defend his NXT North American title against Wesley in a ladder match. Now, you'd think Wesley would have an advantage in this match, but you'd be wrong, little Timmy, because this is The Rock we're talking about. The amount of political power this guy has is ungodly. So he just beat the young up-and-coming talent and retained his championship. How poetic. A dude in his 50s who's been retired for like 10 years comes in and just dominates all the new. But now it's time for WrestleMania, the showcase of the Immortals. Night 1, we got Black Adam defending the United States Championship against the Peacemaker. Yeah, it's the battle of Hollywood superheroes clashing at the grandest stage. The Peacemaker is able to hit the super attitude adjustment from the top, and this is enough to stop the Black Adam. Peacemaker defeats Black Adam to win the US title and proves that Peacemaker was a much better entity than Black Adam was, because let's be real, Black Adam was kind of a ass, while Peacemaker was pretty decent. But it's time for the main event, the big money match. No, it's not Roman Reigns. It's The Rock defending the Undisputed Championship against Omni-Man. And you'd think Omni-Man, one of the most destructive and overpowered forces in all of media would somehow defeat The Rock. This is The Rock we're talking about. So of course he'd win. The Rock hits a rock bottom on the Omni-Man, buries him 6 feet under, and walks out as the undisputed champion. Omni-Man might be a monster, but there's one thing that he can't beat. The Booker. So, The Rock retains, and that's how WrestleMania ends. Hollywood cinema, if I do say so myself. And there you go, everyone. That's what happened when The Rock came back for a year. And then after WrestleMania, he goes back to film Black Adam 2 Electric Boogaloo. Thanks for watching, and take care, everyone.